harm others. How many more Sandy Hooks? Haven't there been enough people who have perished? We need to reform our gun laws. I think Congress is almost there, and that is what you can count on from me, to go there and be counted to make sure that we as a government will not stand by and continue to let innocent children die from senseless gun violence.
My son just graduated from Santa Ana High School. A couple of years ago, I got a text that a young man less than a block away from the high school had gotten shot, dead, right across from the high school. I was very concerned because I wanted to make sure my child was also safe. This discussion is not abstract to me, it's real, because it happens in my community all the time. I support reasonable gun safety laws and laws that keep guns away from the mentally ill. When I was in Sacramento, I voted for outlawing Saturday night specials, gun waiting periods, background checks. We all know the situation right now in Washington. I believe that when the Sandy Hook situation happened, those perpetrators don't ask those victims, are you a Democrat or are you a Republican? They just do bad things. We need to sit down with Republicans and come up with a solution that keeps all of our families, all of our university students, all of our children and families safe. Thank you.
I'm pausing, Doctor, on this question because this is another one that has driven me crazy for a very long time. I was raised in a family that were hunters, so I was raised with guns. I have no opposition to guns. But I'm one of the few Democrats who has served in Sacramento that supported virtually every reasonable proposal to deal, and I don't want to say it's about guns. It's about an industry that is protecting its profits. That's what this is all about. Let us stop the false debate. I fought the tobacco industry in the courtroom. One of the few attorneys that ever was willing to take them on. The debate about does smoking cause cancer in the 50s and 60s was a false debate. They knew it. It was to protect their profits. The gun industry now, in pursuit of their profits, have come up with every excuse in the book to allow them to continue to sell guns, distribute guns in every community in the United States for one reason. It's not about a constitutional right to bear arms. It's about a massive profit for an industry that needs to be brought under control, just like we did with the tobacco industry, but it had to be done in the courtroom. Let's not forget that lesson and do the same with respect to the gun industry.
You know, on the one hand, I understand the Second Amendment and the Bill of Rights. That was during a time of be jaded from what we see on television. We can never be desensitized. We must make those demands on Washington, and this broken Washington needs that reform. You know, in addition to the private gun for-profit industry, we do need to close the gun show loophole. We do need more background checks. We do need to ban assault rifles. And we do need more mental health support, starting in our schools, from a very young age, of how the kids treat one another. How do we view human beings as we interact with one another right here at home? We should never be desensitized, and we should stand up and reform Washington together to make sure we change that.
Thank you very much. That's all the time we have for the questions. Those are great audience questions. We have a lot more, but time is not with us right now. We're going to prepare for the 2-minute closing statement, but before we do that, you're entitled to a commercial. I'll ask Marlis Felice forward with the NAACP and LULAC. We're partnering for the first time. The LULAC has always had a black and white banquet every year. Has a great turnout and everything. But we're partnering with the NAACP this year, and you're going to hear a commercial. Marla.
Great intro. Well, I wanted to thank you, first of all, for coming to the 46th Congressional debate, our 46th Congressional debate. Thank you all for coming and joining us. I want to highlight the fact that this was a collaboration between the two longest standing civil rights organizations in the U.S., OCLF and NAACP. A reminder that we can stand together. And we stand together. To exemplify this message, we have a quickly upcoming awards banquet, as he mentioned, October 30th, so it's literally right around the corner. We do still have tickets available, and we would love to invite you. We'd love to invite you because we do have community leaders that we're going to be honoring, and we are honoring them for over 50 years of efforts, struggles, and successes in civil rights and equality for all. We invite you to attend and support our continued collaborative efforts in bringing events such as these to our community, events such as these that you see here and that you've attended. That's all. Thank you.
I want to recognize several of our elected officials I see in the audience with us. Joining us from the City of Westminster, City Councilwoman Diana Carey. Thank you, Diana. From the Centralia School Board, Art Montes, trustee. Are there any other elected officials I might have missed? From is it Santa Ana? Santa Ana Unified District. Joe Palacio. Are there any others here? In your name?
Ida McMurray from La
Oh! Ida McMurray from the La Habra School Board. I didn't recognize you over there. Thank you for being here today. Are there any other elected?
Stand up, Anaheim.
Connor Trout, the Centralia School District, Indiana.
That's the youngest school board member we have in the United States today, Connor Trout. Thanks, Connor, for being here. Are there any others? Thank you all for coming. Panel, you did a great job with the questions, and the audience did a tremendous job with the questions as well, too. And I think our candidates, we are truly fortunate to have candidates of this caliber seeking this one great seat, because, in my opinion, they can all go there today. I wish they all could. With that, we're going to go to the closing statements, and we'll begin with the last person who gave the opening statement. We'll begin with Council Member Jordan Brandman, and work our way back up, and with the last one comes from Lou.
Thank you so much to LULAC, NAACP, Ray, Benny. Appreciate your leadership in putting this together. This was truly a thoughtful discussion among people who have a mutual respect for each other. And all we want to do is be of benefit to the people of the 46th District. Each one of us thinks that we would be of most benefit. I think I am that person. I'm running for Congress to fight for an economy that works for everybody, to help our local businesses create jobs, and guarantee every child has access to a 21st century education. In order to do that, we need a principled, proven advocate who can stand up to the special interests in Washington and work both with Democrats and Republicans to move us forward. Our neighborhoods deserve that vigorous representative, the same type of person that is embodied in our current Congresswoman Loretta Sanchez, who fights for us every single day. Each one of us has seen the work that she has done, and I want to continue that legacy in making sure that we get our fair share, that we are justly served in Washington, D.C. We have national and international issues that are confronting us. And in my opinion, nothing is more important going forward to our national and economic security than making sure that all of our children have high quality access to education and that they are not crippled by college debt. We can do this. America can come together. The page can turn. And I hope that you will give me this opportunity as we move forward in this campaign to June 7th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cordova, for moderating today, and thank you to LULAC and the NAACP for your leadership in this county. I'm so proud to have OC LULAC right here in my city of Garden Grove. Thank you for this debate, and thank you all of you for attending. You know, we need to make progress, and the only way to do that is by reforming Washington. We need to change it to a place that listens to people, not a place that listens to corporate lobbyists. We need to put people's interests first. That's the only way we can make progress. First, in jobs, not minimum wage jobs, where corporations make record profits off the backs of their employees. Good, paying, solid, middle-class jobs that can support a family. That's what we need. We also need to make sure we are investing in education. Education is the key to lower crime, better jobs, and more opportunity in this district. I believe we need to reform the criminal justice system and stop the mass incarceration of Americans for nonviolent offenses. I think we need comprehensive immigration reform to bring people out of the shadows. I am an immigrant. I was born in a refugee camp and brought to America when I was 3 months old. My story is the story of so many here in this district and across the country. We need to start honoring the determination and the hard work of immigrants and stop demonizing them. I look forward to the months ahead on the campaign trail to meeting with many constituents across the district. As I have, this is my home, and I'd be proud to represent California's 46th district in the United States House of Representatives. Thank you so much. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks to LULAC, Benny, to NAACP, Doctor, to our moderator, Ray, to our great panelists, but most of all, thanks to each and every one of you for taking time out on a crazy weekend, I'm sure. We've had a great discussion. It's nice to see Democrats are a little different than our national Republicans. Healthcare, immigration, environment, criminal justice reform, financial reform, voting rights, the issues we touched upon today are exactly the issues we all care about and this country needs to address. But in Washington, we all know of the paralysis. Folks during our break spoke about it. There's a lot of reasons for that, but stated simply, a lot of folks in DC are more interested in fighting with each other than fighting for you. It's not a partisan issue. It's about fighting for you. So the real challenge we face in the 2016 election is which candidates have the experience and have proven time and time again that they're always out there on the line for you. I've done that. 20 years as a litigator, taking on industries like the tobacco industry and major polluters for you and our kids. In the legislature, when every Democrat voted to use your tax dollars to buy our way out of the energy crisis, I said no, and I voted no. And said, let's investigate. There's wrongdoing here. And that investigation started a process that led to the downfall of companies like Enron. It was a fight for you, not misuse of your tax dollars. And even in my positions in the private sector, continued to fight for affordable health care with the California Medical Association and at the state bar. I fought to protect the immigrant community from bad lawyers who were ripping them off. And honestly, the status quo in the legal community didn't like that. It was the right thing to do. And what I've done to fight for you, because it's just in my DNA, it's who I am. I did that by putting my career, my reputation on the line every single time. In the courtroom, in Sacramento, and in the private sector. Unbroken record fighting for you and our communities. The economic opportunity challenge that we face now is an equally huge, if not greater, fight. I'll be there for you. Thank you.
I want to thank LULAC and the NAACP for putting on this great event, the audience for being here. Most of us agree on a lot of the issues, so I'll tell you what makes me a little bit different. I'm just a kid from the hood that got lucky. I grew up in the streets of Anaheim. Remember when I was a little boy, 7, 8 years old, I learned that when you saw police coming, you just ran away. That's what you did. Later on in life, we found out that police officers weren't your enemies, but were your friends. But we went through a transition. What I'm offering is simple. Trying to show that new generation that folks like me can make it out of the neighborhoods, and we can also live the American dream. Growing up, I saw my mom going to work, cleaning hotel rooms. We were poor, but I knew I was an American, and if I worked hard, I could achieve the American dream. People, teachers, pulled me up and said, you can do something with your life. I want to reach back to all our children in neighborhoods and say, you can do something with your life as well. In Sacramento, my experience, my track record was always fighting for my district. I always got punished by leadership because I would always ask, where's our fair share for Central Orange County? And I would get blank stares. I wouldn't vote for the rest, so I would get punished. Bottom line, I know where I came from. I know my neighbors. I live here. I've grown up here, and I'll be here for the rest of my life. And I know who I work for. I work for all of you, and I will never forget that. You send me to Washington, and I will continue to fight for your rights, for your fair share. And at the end of the day, I don't have all the answers. But all of us working collaboratively, together, we can come up with solutions to the problems. It's not about something abstract, about partisanship in Washington. It's about the problems that affect us every day, in and out. That's what we're there to tackle. Thank you very much, and thank you for being here.
We are almost there. The president of the NAACP and the LULAC Foundation president, they'll have some closing remarks. But before we do that, a big round of applause for these great candidates. I've been asked by the media if you can just please stay here. They want to do a group shot with everybody, okay?
Of course.
With that, we have our president from the foundation, Benny Diaz.
Before anything else, I wanted to express my deepest gratitude, sincere gratitude to every one of the candidates. You know, this district will be pleased with every one of them. With any one of them, if gets selected, we know that we are going to be well represented. Jordan, Bao, Joe, and Lou, I know you for many years. And you know that I always, with LULAC, we have always been neutral, and we always, promise to you to deliver something that is good for you and for our community. For that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. To you all, I really do express my deepest gratitude to every one of you. Doesn't matter the color that you represent. We are in a beautiful place that is called Orange County, 46th District, a beautiful tapestry of ethnicities, black and white, Asians, and we are all together here because we care about this. I'm begging you now that please look into these candidates and also trying to be involved with LULAC. Our doors are open to everybody, not just Latinos. And I think I'm speaking also for the NAACP. I think now for my last word, I wanted to, in a personal level, I wanted to express my gratitude, the sincere gratitude to the city of Garden Grove and to our mayor, Bao, for helping us to be in this place. It's because them that we have this place. And again, thank you very much for taking your time being here.
As Benny has stated, the NAACP wishes to thank you all for coming out to just on a scratch of the surface of what's going on. Put a face and a name together. Now it's time for you to get involved. They're going to be out there campaigning. They're going to be doing their thing. They're good at this. They've done this. You have to do your part. So that when you go to the polls, you go there intelligently and knowledgeable of who you're going to be electing and why. You've got to not only know for yourself, but you need to speak with your neighbors, your families, your friends, because not everyone can come out to these types of events. So you've got to share your feelings, your deepest feelings, on why you want to elect one of these gentlemen to represent you. You have to know what they do will count and will impact your life. And like it's always said, once they're in, they're in. You're not going to get them out. And so if they come in, I'm telling you, really, if they come in and you hear everything they're saying and all the promises, we can all promise things. But the proof is in the pudding at the end when you're in there. Do you live up to what you promised? It's our job to hold you accountable for that. So I just implore you to do that and not just take it so lightly of what over the last 100 years that we fought for. But I want to also, again, thank our panelists that so deservedly came in and asked the relevant questions today in a very respectful and honorable manner. Ray, outstanding as always, the Godfather. We appreciate all the things that you do and what you have done. There's history there. To my dear brother Vinny, we worked together and have known each other for many, many years. And the struggle is real because it impacts both our communities and that what impacts the African American community impacts the Hispanic community, impacts the Asian community, impacts the white community. We've got to learn that we have to work together. And no matter what color, what religion, what are they doing? And you have to see that heart. What is their heart? So with that, again, thank each and every one of you for coming here. We have some other events that we are going to be doing in the future. As Benny stated, we implore you, we invite you to get involved in what we're doing. We're open to all suggestions. Because you know what? I'm sure each and every one of you will leave here and say that, you know what? They could do this differently. And you're probably right. But without your input and your help, the help is what's needed. So again, thank you for coming, every one of you.
With that,